everyone, I'm going to do another item from this lovely jumble of possessions which are all going on this car journey in Rita Berman's book. This is Meine Reise Durch Europa, so we're on our journey around Europe, and this is in the beginning of the book where we're just leaving. Now I thought I would do this frame here because actually, I'm going to zoom in a little, I've had quite a tricky time deciding what to do with it. Now I firstly thought I could do a gold frame and make it like mirrored. The gold frame I thought might disappear into my background, so I decided against that. Silver was a good idea until I realised I'd done the grey cat, and I did the cat grey because I did the case brown, so I was thinking, do I do it wooden? But then we've got a wooden case, a brown case, so you know, I'm not sure what to do. So I'm just going to start colouring it really and see what happens. Now firstly I'm going to start with these tiny little circular dots all the way around the frame, and I'm going to do those, I've just got to find the right colour, in a very bright sort of reddish colour. I'm going to use this madder colour, which is from the Polychromos. I'm using all Polychromos for this picture. I need to get it really sharp, and I want to make it look like they are jewelled, so I'm going to put a really dark, intense layer of colour on here. So I'm going to go over it a few times. Having a sharper pencil helps you lay down more colour, and over colouring quite a lot will help with that as well. Now I think we could go for a coloured metallic look. It may not work, it may not look metallic, but if we can get it to look sort of shiny, I'll be happy. So we've done the red. We've actually got our red cushion here, but it looks quite different, so hopefully it'll work. Now our colour for our frame, I'm thinking, don't want green, we've got this plant which is over the top, or purple or blue or red. You know, we've used so many different colours, so, and we've used this sort of dark pink for the stones, but I think we could probably go for a different shade of pink potentially. I am just looking around. You can see how well I've planned this video by not even deciding what I'm doing before I start. We could do blue as well, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a sort of more turquoisey blue, so that it isn't similar to this blue here. So this turquoisey blue is still quite dark and intense. Sorry, it's Helio Turquoise. Try and get that so you can see it. My technique is going to be as follows. So I'm going to stick within this frame, not going to worry about the middle for now. Give it a sharpen. And what I'm going to do is make it dark, very dark in there, in those bits first of all, intense and dark. I may even add a bit of black into those corners later. And what my idea is to do a darker colour here, more layers, and then reduce as we get towards the centre of the frame, and then the same from the other side. I find it's easier to work a little bit from one side and then a little bit from the other. I want to leave a tiny bit of white in the middle, just a small amount. It doesn't need to be massively visible, but it will hopefully just give the impression of shine. So I'm just reducing the pressure on the pencil as I go down. I'm going to go back here. The reason I go from one end to the other is because it helps me judge where the centre is. I could count it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is in the middle. But if you haven't got any indication of where the centre is, it can help you just work it out a little bit better. So there's that bit. I hope that's beginning to look a little bit shiny. And then here our shine is going to be behind the plant. So if we do it in this way, obviously if you look at something real, it doesn't always shine in exactly the centre or whatever. It just makes it easier for me. We don't want life to get too complicated when it comes to colouring. Relax and have fun. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this time, and that one's got 7. So this time we've got our centre is there, in between those two. So it's a little bit different. As you can see, I'm just reducing pressure, reducing layers. Leave that little bit in the middle, very much paler. Hopefully, it might look a little bit metallic-y shiny or ceramic shiny, one or the other. Okay, so that's our frame. Now, it's blank, which is a bit strange. There's no picture in it. So what I thought we would do was try to make it look as though the light is shining off the frame so we can't see what's in it. So I'm going to do that with some greys. Now, picking a grey, a lot of sets have a big choice of greys. The colder greys are better for a more silvery impression. I use warm greys for the cat here because a sort of more browny colour. But I'm going to go for my cold grey 3. And I'm firstly going to fill in this bit here with quite a dark application, because Rita seems to have indicated that she wants us to colour that. And then for this, I'm going to just put a few streaks and scribbles across as if the light is sort of shining. You might need to go over a few times until you're happy. If you apply too much, you can rub it out, or you can put a little bit of white gel pen stripes in there as well. I'm probably just going to, I don't know actually, I think I'm going to go in with something a little bit darker. I think it's a little bit pale. So I'm going to go for my cold grey 5 and just go over some of the areas a little bit. Start lightly if you're not sure, which is what I'm doing. I'm not sure whether it will look right, so I'm just start lightly and you can add in more. It's harder to take it away. Make sure you do leave some white. I'm going to leave that there, but we still do have this hanging string and pin. Now again, I would normally do the pin in a gold, but I can't, so I'm going to use this cold grey 5 to sharpen it. And what I'm going to do is try, it's very small, to make it darker at the bottom and slightly lighter at the top to give a slightly shiny metallic look. It's very difficult in a small item, but I've done the best that I can. Now we have the string that's holding it, and I actually think it would be nice to have that string in the same colour as these little dots. So I'm grabbing my madder and I'm just going to do the string, but I'm going to make it look like a ribbon, a shiny, satiny, silky ribbon. So I'm going to make it darker top and bottom and a bit lighter in the middle. I just think it looks a little bit more fun and interesting that way. There we go. Now each of these dots, because I wanted them to be jewels, I think they need a bit of shine. So to just finish this, I'm going to put a little dot of white on each one. I'm going to use my jelly roll. I sometimes use my Posca for things like that because they're so small. The jelly roll, it's got a really fine nib, so it will just be the right size to add a teensy dot to each little circle. And hopefully you can see that. And hopefully it looks a bit like shine. If I was doing a bigger one, I wouldn't do it right in the middle, but because they're so little, I think that's the best way to do it, or else you risk going outside the line. What I do, not very accurate. So there's our picture come mirror, whatever it is. So I hope that was interesting for you, a little bit different, hopefully useful, something you might be applied to other books if you don't have this lovely book. But that's me, so thank you very much for watching and happy colouring.